Hey, what is up, fellow raiders? This is Vulcan Dan, and in today's Raid Shadow Legends video, we are going to talk about the special Fire Night tournament that will start tomorrow. And in this special Fire Night tournament, we are only supposed to use champions from the Gaellen Pact Alliance. Now, if we take a look at our champion index, the Gaellen Pact Alliance consists of the Ogryn Tribes, Lizardmen, Skinwalkers, and the Orcs. Now, the Fire Night in itself is a very difficult dungeon requiring very specific skills from champions, specifically multi-hit A1s, or if you don't have it in your A1, at least somewhere in your kit. And of course, other debuffs such as decreased attack will help you stay alive. Possibly some revives, decreased defense and weaken will also help you take down the boss much faster. If you have some sort of decreased turn meter in your kit, that is also excellent as well. Now, because it's only the Gaellen Pact, you don't have your usual Fire Night favorites such as Allure, Cold Heart, right? So we are very limited in what we can use, and actually these four factions, they don't have a lot in terms of dealing with the Fire Night, so we will have to be very picky. Let's go through some of the epics that can definitely help you in your Fire Night, and there aren't a lot. And after I go through the epics, we can also talk about the legendaries. Now, I highly advise you to go for this event if you have the right champions for it, because they did this the last time with, I think it was the dragon, and because it was limited to only a few factions, not a lot of players had the correct champion for that dungeon, and so not a lot of players went hard for that tournament. Now, they usually give good rewards for these kinds of events. You have, last time they had ancient shards and epic books at the top few places. So if you have the right champions and you're in need of some extra shards, extra books, I definitely advise or encourage you to go for this because it's a nice opportunity to do so. All right, let's do this. Let's start with the Ogryn Tribes. Let's start with Skull Crusher. All right, so he doesn't have a multi-hit A1, but it does have a this A1 hits real hard, but he has this counterattack and ally protection for your entire team, which will help you stay alive, and also whenever he hits you, every single one of your champions will counterattack, which would bring down the shield of the Fire Knight boss. So definitely very good two-way kind of champion, both protecting you and bringing down the shields of the Fire Knight. So yeah, so if you have Skull Crusher, he is one of the three ally, like team ally protect and counterattack champions in the game. The other two being Martyr and Valkyrie. So if you have Skull Crusher, definitely a very good champion to build, not only for the Fire Knight, but for other areas in the game as well. And another champion here is, we have Grush. Now, Grush also does not have a multi-hit A1, but it does bring a leech. Now, you would want to stay alive, especially in the Fire Knight boss, and having that leech on the boss will definitely help keep your champions alive longer. He has this decreased attack on his A2, and a heal on his A3. So Grush is mainly there to keep your champions alive. Also, one of the newer champions, but he is a Void Epic, Ogryn. Now, you might have seen him in some of the videos on YouTube. He is an excellent champion. His A1 hits 3 times. So this is the kind of skill that you want to see on a champion. A 3-hitter A1 with some nice poisons. And he has this heal and more poisons and more heals on his A3. So definitely another good champion to use for the Fire Knight. Unfortunately, I do not have him, but if you do, he is most likely going to be in your Fire Knight team. All right. So for the no, not Undead Hordes, for the Lizardmen, I was looking at the Lizardmen and I couldn't really find anyone. Jizzo, you know, can do some work, but he's not ideal for this. The one that I saw was Aox. Aox has a double hitter A1 with poison, so it's kind of decent. He has this AoE heal And I expect you to have a lot of debuffs on the Fire Knight as well. So if you do the more debuffs that you have on the Fire Knight boss, this heal will be a lot bigger. And he has this decreased attack in his A3. So he will keep your team alive and also have some poisons and bringing down the shield with this double hit A1. All right. And of course, he can also increase the debuffs on the Fire Knight with his passive. So yeah, Aox is a decent addition to your Fire Knight team for this challenge. And he is the only one from the Lizardmen, at least for the epics that I found, that could be useful for this event. For the Skinwalkers, Steel Skull, also a double hit A1 with poisons, has a heal right here and increased defense and heal on all your allies. So definitely another good champion to keep your team alive. The Fire Knight does hit hard, so you have to make sure you have your increased defense, your ally protect, your heals to make sure that everyone stays alive for the fight. Now, it won't be of any use if you have a lot of triple hit A1, but no one's healing your team, so you would need someone like a Steel Skull. Now, one of the squishier champions, but also good for the Fire Knight is Fane. Now, if you're going to bring Fane, you will really need other champions to help keep her alive because she's very squishy, very low HP, very low defense. And you might need to bring a Reviver as well if you plan to use Fane. She has this double hitter A1 that steals the target turn meter, so definitely a good skill for the Fire Knight. Poisons and decreased attack, which are very helpful for the Fire Knight as well, and decreased defense and weaken and some heal. So her entire kit is excellent for the Fire Knight if you can keep her alive. That's the only thing about Fane. Another one is Basher. Basher's multi-hit comes from his A3, 4 times at randoms. Of course, in the Fire Knight boss, all of these will go to the boss himself. And if you plan to use Basher, you might need to manual this if you really want his 4-hitter, which is on a 4-turn cooldown to land when the shields are up. Because his other skills, you know, this one is a single hitter, this one is an AoE that hits 1 time. So if you're going to use Basher, but he's still quite a good champion, especially for the waves, you might want to manual him and save his skill right here when the shield is up. Alright, so that's for the Skinwalker. For the Orcs, let's see. You can use Duck the Pierced. He has this double hitter A1, and he has this decreased attack and decreased defense on his A2. And this one has a reflect, but it's only on himself. And the one cool thing about reflect damage on the Fire Knight is that whenever the Fire Knight hits you, this reflect will hit the Fire Knight back for some extra ticks off of the Fire Knight shield. Now, this is only a single target reflect damage. It's not the entire team, but you know, it will do, and it will help a little bit. And of course, having the double hit A1 and the decreased attack and decreased defense on his A2 helps as well. So he is okay for the Fire Knight. Another good champion is Sandlash. Now, I don't have him. I think, yeah, he's the only orc epic that I don't have, but he has a double hitter A1 again, and then he will keep your entire team alive with this Ally Protect passive. Alright, so whenever any of your ally drops below 50%, he will put this Ally Protect on all allies for 2 turns. Ally Protect is a very useful skill to help keep your squishy champions like Fane, to keep them alive. So if you have Sandlash and you're looking for someone to cast that Ally Protect, then she is a good champion for that. Lastly, of course, we have Seer. Now, Seer won't do much for the actual Fire Knight boss, but she can help you with the waves. And sometimes those nasty waves before you get to the Fire Knight, you might lose a champion or 2, so you want to get rid of those waves as soon as you can. So of course, Seer with her Karma Burn definitely does quick work on those waves. Now, we can also mention some of the legendaries just in case you have these. For legendaries, don't see anyone that's very good for the Fire Knight boss in Ogryn Tribes. For Lizardmen, we have Draco because he has this 4-hitter with poisons and of course the decreased defense and weaken. So Draco is excellent. Razin has that 3-hitter A1 also with the decreased defense and weaken, and this 100% decreased turn meter on his A3. So all 3 skills are excellent. And of course, he is one of the fusion, the permanent fusion champions. So definitely, whether you're a new player, a free-to-play player, or an endgame player, of course, if you're an endgame player, I hope that you already have him. But yes, every single player of Raid should fuse Razin Scarhide. He is excellent and he does very well in the Fire Knight. Another legendary from the Lizardmen, which I don't have, is Fushan. He will do well in the Fire Knight as well. He has a chance to double hit in his A1, double hitter on his A2, and 4-hitter on his A3. So all of his skills hit multiple times. So he will do well in the Fire Knight. And he has very good skills. He is an attack champion, but he has decent defense for an attack type champion. So he will stay alive longer than someone like Fane. Alright, so that's for Lizardmen. For the Skinwalkers, well, I don't have a single one, as you can see, but Brachus, he does have this, 6-hitter A2 with the weaken. So yeah, and he is, and if he dies, he will revive himself. So that would of course be very handy in the Fire Knight because he does hit hard, and Brachus doesn't have a lot of defense. So yeah, but this 6-hitter A2 is excellent for the Fire Knight boss. For the orcs, I would try to use Krila. Krila has this, where's that? There you go. The ally attack, so she will team up with 3 of your allies to go attack the Fire Knight boss. And all of those would of course help to bring down the shield of that Fire Knight boss. But her A1 is just a single attack. She has this increased attack and increased crit rate, but it's really this skill. So you might want to manual her if you're going to use her for the Fire Knight. So yeah, so really not a lot of legendaries, not a lot of epics. So I listed down 10 epics. I listed down a few legendary champions, but the Fire Knight is a very tricky boss to deal with. So but if you do have the champions that I mentioned, do try to see if you can defeat Fire Knight 20. It will definitely, I expect that not a lot of players will try and or go for the high rewards, mainly because they might not have the right champions for the job. So if you do, I wish you good luck, and I hope that you do well in this tournament. All right, I hope you found this useful. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.